So I got to have a little fun this weekend. Got to go to the range, and this is my 45 caliber 1911 Rock Island handgun, which is just beautiful. Shoots really well. You can see I had a nice shoot with this, right? So this is the first semi-automatic designed ever, which is why this is the 1911. It was first made in 1911, and even though it's the design is 120, about 110 years old. It's hard to beat this technology, right? It just shoots amazing, and as you can see, had a pretty good shooting, good grouping in here, right? Then I shot this today too, the Glock 19, and I've got the hollow scope right there. And I just added this, which is a compensator because the Glock doesn't shoot very good. It tends to pull up and to the left. So this is the first time I ever shot it with this. And my groupings were so much tighter this time than the last time I went to the range, right? So pretty good. I'd like to really get all of these and this into here, but, it's a process. It's pretty good. I'm not the best. I feel like my handgun is my weakest shooting, right? Like I'm really good with a handgun, don't get me wrong, but at the range I was the best shot. People were like people were tripping that I was blowing holes through the target, right? And then this is the AR-15. I shot it a lot. I only shot like maybe 100 rounds. This is, but I had a really nice groupings right here. So if you've never gone and shot a weapon before, it's incredibly fun. I took my brother-in-law and my nephew, who's in the Boy Scouts, and he's going to do he's working on his merit badge for shooting merit badge, right? So I was training him on how to shoot, and he did really well. But I just really enjoy shooting. I've trained, hundreds of people in the military, probably 500-600 people how to shoot. I've spent a lot of time on ranges in the Army, being range control, operating the safe shooting of, pistols, firearms, belt-fed machine guns. Really, my best weapon system is a machine gun, right? Machine gun, like the 240, which fires 7.62 millimeters. Like, I'm unbelievable at that. And the saw, which is 5.56, fires the same as these, right? But just a really fun time. Had a great time, so can't wait to get back out again and do it again. So yeah, that was my fun day, right? So, I have a lot of hobbies. I love to play guitar, I love to go to concerts, out to restaurants, love art, right? So, love playing this thing. All right, now that I had some fun at the gun range, and I'm gonna sit down and play two of my guitars, have some fun. But it's like, get out and try it. If you've never fired a handgun or a rifle before, it's just a great hobby. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, think this kind of stuff is evil and it should be banned, and I just think you're crazy, right? Because we have these rights for a reason. All of our rights are just as equally as important, right? Like the free speech, right? A right to vote, right to have a say over our own body, right? And I'm just a firm believer that you should exercise those rights. And if you're not for that, that's your, you if you think that the cops are going to be there to protect you when the whole system comes crashing down, the financial system, okay, you do that for you. You wait on the cops, right? Like, I'm not waiting for somebody to save me. I'm going to take care of myself and my family, right? And owning firearms is a really big responsibility because you have to know how to use them properly and safely, be trained, go to the range, learn how to use it properly because it's a tool, and really understand the legalities of how to legally own a firearm and when you can use them and what situations you can and can't use them, right? So it's not just as easy as you just buy a gun and go shoot it, right? And for people who say it's too easy to get guns and there's all these ways to get them illegally, you're full of shit. There is not. Unless you're going to go into the Bronx, into the projects, and pay somebody $1,000 for a stolen pistol. You are not walking into any gun store and just easily buying a gun, okay? That's not how it works, right? And it literally, you have to put in first you have to have an FBI background check, okay? You have to do some paperwork, you submit that, and all of that takes like a minimum of 30 days. Really, it takes, here in New Jersey, it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 months to get the paperwork back, right? So it's not an easy process. You just can't go buy one from somebody. And any place that's doing that is doing it illegally, okay? And there are serious consequences to that kind of behavior, which I think there should be, right? Like, I don't think that everybody in this country should be, carrying a firearm or owning a firearm, right? I mean, if you're not properly trained and you don't understand the laws, you have no business owning a gun or driving a car, right? It's the same thing. Like, you have to be a responsible adult and a citizen, right? If you're gonna like, own firearms, right? But what the thing I like being about an American is we have rights, unlike in most parts of the world, right? Where like you don't have the right to own a firearm, you don't have the right to free speech, and if you choose not to take part in your rights, that's perfectly fine. Like, I can respect that, right? But at the same time, like, before we outlaw guns, how about we actually punish the people that are doing like these acts, right? That are using handguns illegally, that are buying them, that are carrying them illegally. These people get like a light slap on the wrist and they're back out in the streets. There's no serious punishment for people who commit murder, right? Like, so like, I don't want to hear that, me as like a responsible adult should not be allowed to own a firearm when the government isn't even prosecuting the people who own or who have these weapons illegally, right? They get a slap on the wrist, they get able to go their way and keep doing what they're doing, which is hurting people, right? And like, I think if you're a responsible individual, if you've been watching my videos, right, and you understand what's going on with the financial system, and you hear what I'm telling you, all right, about how the debt system is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to reach a point of like where it's going to implode. And when that happens, people who have all their money invested in IRAs, stocks, think they're going to get a retirement from their governmental job or whatever. You're sorely mistaken, because when the banking system goes under with the US dollar, which is going to happen eventually, right? How do you think people are going to respond? Right? When they find out that after working 30 years, they no longer have a retirement, they no longer have an income, they can't buy basic food items, right? They are going to act like desperate people do. Okay? And desperate people will do anything to feed their family and to take care of themselves and the people they love. So if you love yourself and you love your family, you should have gold and silver, some cryptocurrencies, good food supply, enough food and water for 6 months, right? And you should take advantage of your Second Amendment to buy a firearm and get trained in them. And if you choose not to do that, well, you're going to be helpless. You're the one that's not going to be able to survive. You're the one that's going to depend on the government. And tell me one time the government ever came and helped the people. Never. So hopefully you hear what I'm saying, and you will take advantage of the liberties that the Founding Fathers gave us. And on that note, I say have a great weekend. Enjoy the life you have. Thank God for the blessings you have. And be grateful for the health of your loved ones.